Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, some good news for the world of boxing, y'all, is Canelo Alvarez. He's in the news because he wants 150 to 200 million to fight his mandatory challenger. Right? Mandatory challenger. Forget the name. Right? To fight your mandatory challenger, and basically either one of them. Right? His mandatory challenger is David Benavidez, who everyone knows is the issue with Canelo fighting him. His other mandatory challenger for the WBA is David Morrell. Those are two names that he's just not going to fight. Now, for me, I've been following him a while. He didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade the same way for Undisputed or when he was the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. And he was able to not do that even when a lot of money was in the game. A lot of money, just the most ever. And so he comes with that 150 to 200 million to fight David Benavidez. And then he even states that David Benavidez can be 25 pounds heavier, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, Canelo, normally people will call you out on that because you were weight bullying a lot of your career. But, he could just come out and say that. And the good thing about Canelo coming out to say things now is there's no one else to blame. This is what we've created in this man who was not this type of person years ago. But because, he's able to get away with these things and able, and watching the boxing world never hold him accountable, this is what you get. It's your fault. A person only goes as far as you let them. But somebody who ain't going to have it, Turkey Alashi, he's not having it. Now, he's throwing away a lot of money. This is his royalty, what do they call it? His royalty over here in the Saudis. And he's throwing money around, big time money, to make these people get in the ring and fight each other. Right? But he's ignoring what Canelo's talking about. And I think rightfully so, right? What he's decided to do is he's going to say, well, you know what? Let's invest in David Benavidez. David Benavidez, you go and beat Vucic if you can, which is not going to be easy. People who thinking that just he's going to go up 175 pounds and beat some of the elite up there. Vucic is one of the top three, in my opinion. At least he was. He's on the comeback trail. The other two, Dimitri Bivol, the one who beat Canelo and offered to fight Canelo at 168 pounds, that guy that Canelo don't want to fight either no more, he's going to fight Beterbiev. That guy's who's about 21-0 with 21 knockouts. And everybody he's fought, he's knocked the hell out. Those two guys have a rivalry. That's a huge fight. So they're going to fight for Undisputed. And it's probably instead of letting them have a rematch first, the winner fights David Benavidez in a sort of a round-robin type fight because I would put Vucic in there. If you put Vucic, Benavidez, and Bivol and Beterbiev, that's a little round-robin tournament that he's going on there against the very best of the very best. Every single one of those fights is awesome versus very good people. Not popular, just the best, right? And that's what you need to do. And that's the way to go because what's going to happen is that people are going to be whatever the hell with Canelo. Now, it needed to be someone who don't give a damn what's going on in America and the narratives and stuff like that. That's what needed to happen. Because DAZN and PBC should have done this a long damn time ago. But it's in their interest to just waste money on somebody that we know is not the best or trying to be the best. He just looks like people what we want to be saying that's on the top. We give him this imaginary fan base, right, of people that are not really fans because most fans want to see, hey, man, here's the semifinal and we got the final. We find out who the best is. We don't care what they look like. Just who's the best. Damn it. But that is not what can happen in boxing because it's not regulated. We understand that. So they would just say, well, damn it, Canelo's the best. And what, anybody good? Have you noticed there's only a problem when we think that somebody's good or could possibly be Canelo? Then there's a problem of, what did he bring to the table? Canelo just said, Benavidez doesn't bring anything to the table. How can a sane person say that? Because you're not sane anymore. Benavidez, who's my mandatory, who hasn't lost, who just beat Demetrius Andrade, who I didn't want to fight forever, right? That guy, who's my mandatory, doesn't bring anything to the table. The reason why he says that, because he talked to Mauricio Salomon, and Mauricio Salomon, it's March right now, going towards the end of it, and he's still not stripped. David Benavidez should be the WBC champion before he fights Vucic. Right? David Morrell should be the WBA champion before he fights anybody else. And then We could have had an undisputed fight between David Morrell and David Benavidez. And then Canelo can just, don't people like to say he can do what he wants? Most of us don't give a damn if he does what he wants. Just give up those belts so we can stop acting like you're better than people. You understand? That's all it is. Just give those up. All right? And follow the rules that everybody else follows. And that popularity contest stuff, that, hey, Canelo versus Jake Paul, as far as I'm concerned, who gives a damn? You just got the belts. And you're in a way, that's why people keep gravitating and want to fight Canelo, even a Terrence Crawford. Right? So that's good news. The Zone lost money on Canelo, didn't force him to fight Demetrius Andrade when they were all at the Zone, lost money on him. Never gave out the numbers of his fights, but forget it. We're just gonna tell people he's making all this money. PBC, right there with Al Heyman in charge, right over there giving him some money to fight Munguia, who nobody want to really see, and we know that Munguia didn't want to fight anybody to get there, right? So Demetrius Andrade, instead of these companies coming out saying Canelo did this in negotiations, he didn't want to fight him, or him. He forced us to make this fight against nobody. Same thing PBC should have done. Instead of just hiding and not telling on the guy. That's why we have this monster now. The Saudis are saying hell no to that. And that's very significant. This is a significant day. Hell no to that. The guys you don't want to fight, we're going to promote them. And make them into, those are the ones that's going to get the money. The ones who's trying to fight hard, significant fights. So don't bring that stuff to Saudi. Very, very significant fight. Hats off to them. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.